If you're a new personal trainer, you're a physical therapist, or you're just someone who wants to better understand exercise technique, specifically lunges, you're gonna like this video. This video is gonna be perfect for you. I got to spend some time recently with a local physical therapist and level him up on the exercise training side of things. And we really had a couple light bulb moments in this video where we fixed a few things that he was doing wrong with his lunges, and these are super, super common ones. So I think you guys are gonna love this video. Enjoy. Yeah, let's have you set up for me.
Yeah.
Set up how you would.
So what I'm being training right now is basically sometimes do it just back, and then sometimes, but this is more kind of like dynamic.
Yeah, you got movement.
You know, movement. But just for now, what I did, it was the landmine bar, the landmine exercise. I hold it, and then I was like doing more like isometric, because I don't know, you remember our last session, I realized that
you got some imbalances a little bit. This hip's a little different than the other one.
I want kind of like make it even.
Yeah.
So what I did is, because I want to feel some weight on it.
Yeah.
So I was like just with the bar, the barbell, and then I was holding right there, and then I was more isometric. But I would like you to like.
Yeah. Let me coach you through it. Yeah.
Yes.
So for me, I like in general, I look at the lunge family, which is like lots of exercises, because I would say like step ups are in the lunge family. Just more unstable, is just starting static, right? Because if we're not moving, neurologically it's simpler. And I think that also helps you kind of figure out the right position. So for you, just get into a static lunge for me.
Okay.
And just go through a couple of reps. I'm not even gonna say anything.
Okay.
Nice and slow, dropping up and down. Now tell me, as you're doing this, what do you feel working quite a bit?
Okay, so this is something that it is very curious for me. I know the target muscles is quads and glutes, right? That's my focus. And I'm trying to forget my back leg.
But that one's doing a lot of work, right?
I feel that I'm doing a lot of work in this leg. And I hate it, because I feel that I'm doing like that pushing instead of like going this. So sometimes when sometimes I do it just the toes.
You're like trying to just go light there.
To lower my leg, because I'm feeling that my technique, or I don't know if I'm doing too weighted, or I don't know, but I'm feel this one, I feel that has a little more proprioception in my glute and quad. But even though I feel like my quad right here, it's kind of like pushing a little bit.
Yeah. So just pause there for a second.
Yeah.
From the front and back side view, you're good. Like we're looking for railroad tracks, kind of like the hips. So you got good width there. I think a lot of it comes to in our minds, because we're focused on posture and position. A lot of people think they should be upright in a lunge. But did you play sports growing up?
Yeah, soccer.
Soccer. Yeah. So when you're in soccer, right? If you're tall like this, someone already passed you, right? You're what?
Yeah,
you're
like
here.
Defense.
I mean, it's usually you're a little hinged, right? That's when you're all sports, right? I play basketball, baseball. You're athletic here. So I think the key is that with our lunge, the only reason I would ever lunge upright is if I was purposely going for hip mobility, or like I am trying to strengthen that. And I can't think of a scenario where it would matter that much, but for some people I could see maybe you actually are trying to train more of that quad. Otherwise, the difference here versus here. So I think you just actually need to feel like you're actually a little hinged forward. It's gonna naturally put more weight in the front leg, and you're gonna feel less in the back. You feel that? So that's kind of the difference. This is a much better trainable lunge position.
And then actually right now I'm feeling more weight here and here.
Yeah, and so I find a great way to teach this too, just go to the bottom and hold. And so for someone, if I have someone telling me they're feeling too much of this, this gives me the chance. So now if you sit up tall, you'll feel that quad again. And if you hinge forward, boom.
Damn, boom.
And it's only because your center of gravity moved forward like just a little bit. Boom, just like that. Yeah, that's to me. And when you see someone do it too, you're like, oh, that makes sense. It looks more athletic. It looks like how the body was meant to move. You know, position's great. You could probably take this foot a little wider, right there. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, does that feel different?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think some of it, which is super common, you've just been sticking yourself in this upright position instead of saying like, oh shit,
actually,
let me put
really
that,
like
because
it
it puts that weight over that foot.
Yeah.
And what you'll find is now it'll translate better, because now when you start to move to a reverse lunge, because the way you're doing it, if you reverse lunge, it's going to be like, oh, quad and hip flexor, because that whole, literally your whole weight is like behind your leg.
Pulling your quad.
Versus, I stay over the top of that leg. Now you're going to get a ton of good quad and glute.
Follow you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see what you're talking
and that'll
about.
translate. So if you start thinking about other lunge variations, the only thing might be a little different you'll find, you can stay a little bit more upright when you do forward lunge, but still a little bit of a hinge.
Still, you feel it.
Yep.
Yeah, that was the key point.
Yeah, and so that even the same too, just to make the point, even if we went to, you start moving into step-ups, this is where a lot of people, now again, I wouldn't normally have anyone step up on a bench because it's not safe, but you know, so if someone's trying to stay upright with a step-up, they're really going to struggle to not crash onto this back leg and like fall down, instead of when I come down, you kind of hinge forward. Now I can control it the whole way. Yeah, obviously we got a little bit of balance and stability because of the bench, but yeah, so I find it's a super common one with teaching lunges, but I think now you got it.
Yeah.
And I just apply that to all the patterns.
Yes.
I mean, all the lunge variations. The only other one I'll say too is like, even if we look at, I was just going to say, split squat, same idea. If you try to stay super upright, it's going to be a hip flexor stretch, versus if you let yourself come forward. Bam.
Boom.
Changing the game, baby. Done.
Start loading.
Yeah.
How we can load it.
Lunge pattern?
Lunge pattern.
Yeah, lunge pattern. I find, I mean, I'm usually gonna start with one because it's just easy. However, I will say, I think, you know, it's arguable. One, you have a little bit more you have to control. So like, is it more stability demand? But I'll go client by client. Either I'm gonna have one kettlebell or dumbbell, because again, I find it's just easier. Barbell is harder to manage for someone. So I find single dumbbell is a great place to start. And you also just, a lot of clients, they like the glute engagement.
Opposite to the leg that's working on it.
I usually will, only because you get that contralateral load, your body's fighting it, so your glutes are gonna fire up a lot. But this isn't wrong. This is probably easier on the balance, harder on the balance. I like the glutes. So after I do this, and again, you could hear, it could be reverse lunge, and then double. And for me, that's great, because now from the double, you can really, some people will get grip limited, but usually that takes a while, you know, and that could be static. You can really, I mean, for me, these variations we're talking about, I feel comfortable. I can train someone through stabilization, endurance, hypertrophy, maybe even strength based on the person, you know, because I can say like, you know, some of the grip will be a limiting factor for people, but could we work up to like heavy sets of 5 reverse lunges? Yeah. I do. I love that. That's one of my personal favorite ways for like some of my
45, 50, 60, 70s?
70s,
Damn.
75s. But just, you know, so I mean, I think, but at some point in time, like it's kind of limiting my grip is. So at that point, barbell, if I was going to do the reverse lunge. But I don't do that with many clients. Dumbbells usually get me pretty far. You know, you could goblet load. Some people like to goblet load. The only thing I don't love about that is it very much encourages you to keep that upright position, and it's kind of hard. It kind of wears on the low back more when you're here versus here. I feel like we can load heavy.
You have heavier.
And then we have, you know, we got that. We've got front foot elevated.
Yeah.
Small step, put that leg up on top. That lets you go through big, deep range of motion, and then small.
So every time that I'm elevated is to go deeper.
Deeper, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Got it.
So yeah, the lunge pattern, I think there's a lot in there. And then obviously we've got step ups and everything else
but
too.
But now I getting cleaning squat, cleaning hinges.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Cool.
And building up. Got it.
Cool. So I think with those, I think, you know, some of it just comes down to like how heavy can they load it, how well they can control it, and that's going to dictate, does it really fit strength-wise?
Be honest with you, these two phases.
You feel like you see yourself doing less of them? Yeah.
I mean, I like my older population, and I like my patients that are like just or clients that are looking for health and keeping nice. But guys that like maximum strength and power. I mean,
I think you got to look two ways though, right? Because obviously, if we're looking at longevity and resilience, we got to kind of push the barriers of that. However, I think what you can do is, I think even if you just get on the heavier side of hypertrophy, if you're getting to like 6 to 8 reps, you're getting some strength crossover. And then your power can be, it could be just working on, exploding out of the bottom. It might not look like it does for like a 20-year-old, but I think that's the benefit.
I have to be honest with you, I love plyometrics exercises.
Yeah.
I'm good with like
springing, jumping.
Yeah. I like those things,
Yeah, and I think if you can find
my clients, is not like
harder to get people to. Harder to get them to.
However, so next year.
How'd you feel about the lunge though? You feel good with that one?
It was great. It was great.